Moscow massacre. Good morning, Patriots. JT, Serenity Farms prepping here. So by now, you've all heard, or should have, that there was a massacre at a concert in Russia. 150 plus slaughtered, shot, and then burned alive at a concert. ISIS has accepted responsibility. Now remember, Hussein, Obama, Sotero, Kenyan, Mike's bitch, traitor, created ISIS and ISIL and all that stupid shit. Funded them, started them to create havoc across the Middle East and in Europe. Trump and Putin wiped them out in a very short period of time. At least more than enough where they were feckless, spineless, kind of like the GOP. But nonetheless, since the pedophile regime has been back in power, they have been funneling our money to reignite the ISIS team, aka Democrat team. So when you look at the photos of the massacre, they don't really look like ISIS, like we know ISIS. They're not handling themselves the same. They're not dressed exactly the same. They just don't look the same. So odds are very good that this was a corrupt three-letter agency, Democrat and Ukraine operation. Now, remember, whether you like it or not, whether you want to admit it or not, I still believe Putin has been working on the side of the good guys to expose everything going on over in Ukraine and self-preservation for Russia. The Democrats and the deep state hate this. They need Russia to attack someone, anyone. They don't care who it is. They would prefer it be a country in Europe, a major city, or an American city, and then they can proceed with their plan to make us all glow. But to date, Russia is not taking the bait because I believe they are fully aware what's happening and what's at stake. And love them or hate them, Putin has shown remarkable ability to not react like everyone wants him to. I don't know how he's done it. You know, right from the get-go, he could have took entire Ukraine in a few days if he wanted to. The restraint the man has shown, despite the attacks on the pipeline, the stealing of their $300 billion, which they now want to try and use to launder to Ukraine, the attacks on Moscow, everything. The restraint has been very good. Fortunately for us, I believe. Now, supposedly they have captured the assailants in this despicable massacre. We shall see how this progresses. Now, be advised, when they showcase these assailants. They may look of a nationality or race that ISIS would be comprised of. That does not mean that it is ISIS. There are plenty of people of all races and nationalities that can be bought and will perform any job for the right amount of money. Pretend they're someone else and get blamed to push whatever narrative the Democrats and the deep state have. It's the way that it always has been, and likely to a certain extent will always be. Now, just because Russia has not reciprocated yet doesn't mean they don't know what's going on and who done it. I'm assuming the Russian people are wild and are calling for scalps for this. There's no doubt they want whoever is responsible for this in the public square at the swing set train station. So there's some pressure being put on Putin to retaliate. But retaliating is a very dangerous road. You want to make sure the people who did this never want to do it again. An oil embargo, a wheat embargo, sanctions on a country, that's not going to deter these wacko idiots. Maybe a couple key assassinations, but what kind of retaliation does the deep state consider enough to go ahead and start dropping nukes? That's where we're at. When you have someone of Pedo Joe's mental capabilities supposedly carrying around the nuclear football with his finger on the trigger, yee. Now, remember, also, Russia's no different than any other country. There's a leader, then there's a set of people who may or may not like that leader and have their own agenda. There may be a basement somewhere with 20 Russian commanders sitting in it, all of them with a finger on a trigger, itching, drooling, fomenting at the mouth, wanting to push that button. Somebody's keeping them all together because there's no way everyone is on the same page. They may be on the same page that they need to preserve Russia and her people. That's a duh. Not in this country, but it is in Russia. But they all want to do it a different way. Remember, usually the people who make those decisions, they're safe and protected. Russia is 20 years ahead of the rest of the world in nuclear capabilities. With their missiles, their subs, their drones, everything. They have missiles that are nuclear powered, that are up in the air now and can stay up there in perpetuity. For TARDs, that means forever. They don't need any more fuel source. They have their own. Their missiles are so much faster than ours, we never even know they launched until we're a mushroom. And they can literally hit every country in the world before any other country could get one off. That's how fast they are. And it's how totally inept and incapable we are. Because that's the way it is. They're just not, we just don't have the capabilities. We have neutered our military intentionally. So let's, we're going to wait on this. Just because nothing has happened yet doesn't mean nothing is gonna. Keep your head on a swivel with this, because the ramifications are forever life-changing. All right. Anything new comes up, I'll let you know. But for now, Jake T, signing out.